Welcome to Table Talk. Thank you for joining us today. My guest today is Leslie Watts, who is a Tennessee Naturalist student from the South Cumberland State Park, and we're going to talk about the 2022 Trails and Trilliums. Welcome to the show, Leslie.
Thank you for having me. I'm
yeah,
excited to be here.
I know, it's great. We love Trails and Trilliums. I think I have someone to come talk about that every year. That event is, I guess, a big fundraiser for the park. Is that right?
Yes, it's one of our main event of the year, so it's a big event with a lot of stuff to do, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So give us the dates actually for this year, because I forgot to make note of that. It's coming up in April, is
Yes.
that right? Okay.
April 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Okay, so it's 3 days, so lots of opportunities there. If you can't come on a Friday, you can come on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yes.
Let's start with, I guess, the event area, South Cumberland State Park. I know you said you're from Murfreesboro, but
Right.
you're actually taking your naturalist classes from the Friends of South Cumberland, is that right?
Yeah, it's the chapter that's based out of South Cumberland State Park, which is with Friends of South Cumberland.
So are you very familiar, you're getting familiar, I guess, with the park up there?
Yes, getting familiar. There's a lot to explore. I mean, South Cumberland State Park has over 90 miles of trail, and a lot of different areas you can go to. So I'm still getting familiar for sure.
Very handy park because it is right off of Interstate 24, so it's pretty easy to get to, and good roads, I guess, to a lot of trailheads up there, the ones I have been to.
I haven't had any issues yet.
Yeah, and everybody likes a trip to Moneagle. There's lots to do up there, so it's a very pretty area. So this event features, you've got 25 guided hikes that one could take that weekend. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of those?
Okay, so when I was looking at this schedule, it looks like we have hikes that are as little as about maybe a quarter of a mile, and they go up to 5 miles long. The shorter hikes, you think, wow, that's really short. But you're on a hike with a professional or a specialist in that area of study, like botany or like a professor. So you're not just walking past everything as fast as you can. You're there to learn about something specific about that trail in that area. So it does take some time to go farther on the trail than if you were just walking.
Yeah, so if it is a short hike, you're going to be probably looking at if there's trilliums blooming, which we hope they are. They're going to be telling you about different aspects of the trail. Right,
and you can go online and you can see what each hike is focused on. So you can find your interest and say, I want to do that one, and so, just
sign up, I guess, for as many hikes as you want to. I think they have a weekend pass, is that right, where you can hike as much as you want to, or you can pick specific hikes to participate in?
Yeah, and that's great. So like you said earlier, if you have the whole weekend, you can do the weekend pass, which is $50, and you just sign up for the events that you want to attend. Or if you only have one afternoon, you can go and look. And you can sign up for one event. It's $10 an event. So
okay.
And that goes towards the Friends of the South Cumberland State Park.
It is a fundraiser, as we said, for the park. Lots of, I guess, expense goes into maintaining a park, and the state does some of it, but it takes work on our parts too. So and then also there's also fun workshops going on. Tell us a little bit about some of those.
Okay, so if you're into conservation, you can look at some conservation workshops. I know there's a bat conservation I was looking at. There's other workshops for like artists, for nature journaling and stuff like that. So if you just want to kind of look around at your environment and learn how to take it in and record it in a way that you can go back and specifically know what was happening at that moment in time, then they will help you do that. Let me think. We have trail building workshops, just a bunch of different topics you can explore more with people who have been
Probably
doing this
something
for a
for a
while.
little bit of everybody,
Yeah.
and I'm sure kids' activities too.
Oh my gosh, yes, there's a lot of kids' activities. I don't have any children, but I was looking at the activities and I was like, wow, this looks really fun. Can I go?
Yeah, I know in years past they had kind of a scavenger hunt type activity
Okay.
where you looked for fairy houses and things like that. So they're very creative in the things that they develop for people to do
Yes.
on the hikes and stuff. So you've also got the big gala, which is called Wine and Wildflowers. David Haskell, who is a professor, is going to be talking to the group about his book, which is called Sounds Wild and Broken. Is the gala open to everyone, or what type of event is that? It sounds very fancy.
Yeah, so you do have to register for the event. We have a limited number of seats. And there will be wine and cheese, and then the author will be there talking and have a book signing. We'll have the books for sale. It's on Friday evening, I believe 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you're interested, you can sign up for that, and it looks like a very fun time.
Yeah, of course you get, is that a dinner event too? You sign up, or is it mostly just the wine and cheese?
It's more
and
like a reception.
Okay.
Wine, yeah.
And get to listen to the author. I bet that'll be fascinating. So let's get into the specifics, I guess, of some of the things you have lined up for kids. Do you have some things that you could talk about as far as that goes?
Yes, we have a lot. They're going to do fairy houses, go into the woods a little and build some forts. They have hatchet throwing with, obviously somebody's supervised hatchet throwing. Making hiking sticks. They're going to have cooking over a bonfire with marshmallows and a marsupial visit from Blossom the opossum, and I'm a big fan. She's adorable. They're also going to have a hands-on wildlife event with 2 wildlife rehabbers from Tennessee that are going to bring their kid-friendly animals for the kids to learn about and to touch. And then an owlology presentation, and there's even a family bicycle ride you can sign up for, and then a campfire that night, where we'll have night hikes and like a moth adventure and stuff like that.
That sounds fun. I think I'll just sign up for the kids' events.
I was looking at all this, and then Davy Crockett's even going to make an appearance on Sunday. So
Great.
So there's a lot. I mean, the kids will stay busy, and the really cool thing about the kids' events is that that's free. So,
Okay.
But there are a couple that they ask you to sign up for and register just to make sure they have enough supplies on hand.
Right. Yeah, if it's craft oriented or something of that nature. Right. So you are going to have crafters there, food trucks, and of course the big plant sale. What's that like?
So I'm trying to figure out where to start here. During the lunchtime, we'll have our food trucks. Mike and Betsy's Barbecue is going to be there, Lupita's Tacos, Go-Go, Hoagie. And so those will be set up in the front area where you kind of come in and have food and drinks available. And then also a few mornings we'll have Storywood and Beans with smoothies, coffees, brownies, and wraps. And so you'll have that whole area where you can get food and refreshment to help keep your energy up. You can sign up for your hikes or your other events, and then you can go over right beside that. Basically, it's going to be the vendor area where we've asked local vendors to come in and sell their products. And we have hemp jewelry, we have rock garden jewelry, sculptures, wreaths, handmade soaps, note cards. Got a whole long list of everything we got available. Baked goods, we have a custom leather item shop. So that'll be a really cool area to explore, just outdoor related crafts and from local artists.
That sounds fun. And then the plants are all native plants from our area.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's Overhill Gardens. They'll be there doing their native plant sale. And they have a list online that is a 3-page document of what they'll have for sale.
Okay.
So obviously I'm not going to read that off, but you can go take a look. And they'll even have workshops where they'll be presenting native plant gardening and for your home and backyard and
that's
stuff.
good.
So.
I know there's been a big push to utilize native plants instead of plants that come from other areas, because some of them are invasive and they bring in disease and things like that that we don't want. So that's a good thing to have the native plant sale.
Yes.
And is it better to sign up for the events now, or how can you do that? I know when I was looking for it, I just kind of Googled Friends of the South Cumberland, or Trails and Trilliums even has a page too,
Yes.
I believe.
Trailsandtrilliums.org is where you can go to sign up. It's good to sign up ahead of time because we've already got a few events that are sold out. So there are limits to certain ones. Hikes, we can only take so many people. We want to be safe and have everything we need for everybody to have an enjoyable day. So some of it's limited, and you can go see that and see what's available and what you would like to do, and have your weekend planned out ahead of time. So and that helps us be prepared to welcome you to.
And is the staging area, I guess, where you find all the food trucks and the plant sale, and you start your hike? Do you leave from the Du Bois Conference Center? Is that, I believe, the area?
They'll have an area where we'll have everybody kind of line up, and then you can drive to your hike. But like I said, the food trucks, the vendors, the native plant sale, and the kids zone will all be right there. But the hikes take place other places.
And then there's a lot of fun things to do in Moneagle. We encourage you to kind of go on a hike, grab your lunch there with the food trucks, and then explore Moneagle and Swanee. It's a beautiful area up there.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you, Leslie. You have been great. Thank you for making the trip from Murfreesboro.
No
I will ask you before, and this is kind of off script. I didn't tell, but the Naturalist program, what made you decide to become a part, or to do that? Because that's kind of a little, I guess, over so many months, and even up to a year, you get a naturalist certification. What made you decide to do that?
Oh man. Honestly, as my husband and I just got out in nature more, we just found we loved it more and more, and I saw how it helped us out with our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health. We were just happier in nature, and the more I looked around and saw everything that was going on around me in nature, I was just like, I need to learn more about this. What can I learn from these places, and then also how can I give back to help make sure other people can have this experience? So I just started Googling and looking and following, Tennessee state parks and stuff like that, and I found out about this program, and I knew I had to do it. So.
Yeah, it looks like there's probably, I don't know, maybe half a dozen, if not more, parks in the state that you can go to get classes. The classes look like they last anywhere from 9 to 1 o'clock every few Saturdays. You said different parks do it different ways.
Yeah, it's very dependent on the chapter and their availability of people to actually lead the classes.
Yeah, lots of topics. I saw water conservation and reptiles and amphibians.
That was a
what's
fun
been
one.
your favorite class so far?
I really liked the reptiles and amphibians just because I got to hold a snake for the first time. So,
and it didn't bother you?
It didn't.
You were okay.
It was a very friendly snake. I know, I haven't been around snakes much in my life, and that was, as much as I like nature, there are certain things I'm still uncomfortable with in nature.
I get that.
And I'm trying to learn more about and realize, every animal and plant has their part in nature and their place.
I know. I've always heard that about black snakes, so I try to leave those alone. I hear they eat things that we don't, necessarily want around our house and stuff, rats, rodents, and stuff like that. So I try to let them. But there's some of them I still am not fond of. Copperheads, rattlesnakes. We don't see
some
anything
you should
like
probably
that.
stay away from.
That's right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on to Table Talk today. And we'll remind everybody once again the date, April
8th, 9th, and 10th.
8th, 9th, and 10th. You can go on the Friends of the South Cumberland or the Trails and Trilliums website and get registered. Thank you to our audience for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. Have a safe, healthy, and happy week, and join us again for more Table Talk.
In the soft light of morning, hikers make their way through the woods, following an ancient path.
But this is the Stagecoach Road here. This is where it came up to the top.
Years ago, this was about the only way up or down what is commonly called Moneagle Mountain, which technically isn't a mountain, but part of the Cumberland Plateau.
Mr. Harbarger ran this road as a toll road from probably the 1840s till the 1870s. Bringing a stagecoach or something like that up this mountain would be a pretty arduous task, but there just weren't any other roads.
Today, the old Stagecoach Road is paved with pedals.
Tons and tons of Dutchman britches. They're out from top to bottom. We normally see 3 trilliums here: the cuneatum, the grandiflora, the large flowered, and the red trillium, but the southern red is the last one to bloom.
Hike leader Jim Poteet never tires of talking flowers.
This bank has some saxifrage on it, but it's not beginning to bloom. We got some chickweed down there. I just love the outdoors and love sharing what little bit I know about it. I'm not a botanist by training or anything. I just enjoy being out, enjoy hiking, and enjoy the wildflowers, and like to share it. This right here is one of our trilliums. I think this is going to be a red, southern red.
Oh, really?
While Jim points out wildflowers,
Blewit. These little blue ones, they're one of the first flowers to come out in the spring. Now, the saxifrage is this right here.
his wife Marietta does the same, miles away at the Sewanee Natural Bridge.
You can see the iron, you can see where the water has dug out holes, and it's just fascinating through here. You can see the white lichen on the rock, and that also helps erode the rock.
Jim and Marietta moved here from Hendersonville when they retired.
We chose to come to a place where we had hiked and have come to for 40 years. This is a special place to us, so to be able to share this and tell other people what a wonderful place this is, the flowers, the trees, the mindset of conservation is extremely special to me.
That special place is South Cumberland, Tennessee's largest wilderness state park. And the people they're sharing it with have come from all over to enjoy Trails and Trilliums, a 3-day festival celebrating the wild wonders found here.
Right here is your filmy fern, and this is one of the few places that it grows. It is extremely rare.
You can almost see through it.
Does anybody know what the Tennessee bicentennial tree is? It's something called yellowwood. It has a trunk that has character.
We're very focused on getting everybody into the park. Lots of short trips, and we provide van transportation and wonderful guides so that people who had never been to Natural Bridge or Fiery Gizzard or Stone Door would get an opportunity to do that.
Linda Berry drove up all the way from Huntsville, Alabama.
It's just so beautiful. Everywhere you look, there seems to be something blooming. You can't walk a step hardly without seeing something.
It's waxier. It's evergreen.
Linda started spending time in the woods when she was a little girl and never stopped.
I've hiked in every state in the United States. People are always saying to me, oh, you're hiking here and hiking there. I said, I think maybe a stroll is a better way to say what I actually do in the woods, because you see so much if you're just ambling along and taking your time. It's just the color.
While hiking certainly is a big part of Trails and Trilliums, it's not the only thing. Whether old or young, there's something here for everyone.
From picnics with Davy Crockett and Teddy Roosevelt to native plants and art for the park, there's lots to see and do on the grounds of the Moneagle Sunday School Assembly, which hosts the annual event.
We've got beautiful, fine artwork, and we have vendors as well selling all kinds of crafts. We have workshops and lectures, talks about various things that are going on. We've got children's activities.
Things like close-up encounters with cool critters, hay rides, rope climbs up steep hills, and giant swings overlooking a high bluff.
People that grow up around here, they're used to the woods, but not necessarily so if you grow up in Nashville or Memphis or a larger city. So this event kind of opens up new things to kids, especially who grew up in a more urban environment.
It was a bit scary, but I was just like relaxing, feeling the air. It was really nice.
The greatest favor that our adults can do for the future of this republic is to take their children and their grandchildren not only out to parks, parks are important, but out into the wild places of the parks. Show those children that they've got the right stuff in them by letting them have some great adventures.
These children are the ones that are going to inherit these parks, and we want to get them started early caring about the critters and the land here.
Trails and Trilliums is a major fundraiser for the Friends of South Cumberland, one of Tennessee's leading land preservation and conservation groups. But more important than raising money is raising awareness of the importance of nature to people and people to nature.
Our environment, goodness, it's all we've got. So it's very important, I think, to share flowers and trees and water, just the whole spectrum of our natural world, to make people aware of where they're living and what's out there for them.
What's out there is a world of wonder, waiting to be experienced and needing our care, even at places like South Cumberland State Park.
It's so important that we all become involved with our parks, that the parks have the support of people. The parks are ours. They're a place where you and I and our friends and everybody and their children can get out and really enjoy nature. The more people we can interest in the Friends of the Park, the more people I think we can interest in conservation of these really special places.
Places where we can all hike the trails and see the Trilliums for many years to come. I'm Ken Tucker on the Wild Side.